Hi everyone, this is Dr. Sheena here. Today our topic for the presentation is cleaning and shaping methods. So when we do root canal treatment, we know that once we actually determine the working length, the next step is actually the cleaning and shaping, or also called as the biomechanical preparation. So we use the files, reamers, etc. to clean the canals, and there are certain motions through which which we clean the canal, and there are certain objectives that was given by Shielder where we can attain a proper biomechanical preparation. So first is actually the objectives for cleaning and shaping that was given by Shielder. And the objectives is divided into two parts, that is a mechanical objective and biological objective. So let us see the mechanical objective. Mechanical objective, the first what it is explaining is like once we do the preparation, you can see this is actually the root canal. Once we do the preparation, it should have a continuous taper. It should not be irregular like this. It should have a continuous taper like this with the narrowest cross section at the apical area and the largest or the widest diameter at the coronal area. So this is the first mechanical objective. The second is like all the walls should taper evenly towards the apex. That means that the preparation cannot be like for a particular length it is having a particular taper then another taper. No, it should have an eventual taper from the apical foramen to the widest coronal portion. Third is like to give a prepared root canal the quality of flow. That means that once we attain a beautiful taper, the material which we use for obturating the canal like gutta parsha will have a beautiful quality of flow. It will have a nice anatomy once we actually fill the root canal. So once we prepare the root canal, we should be able to attain the third quality, that is a quality of flow. Fourth is like should keep the apical foramen as small as practical. We should not actually increase the size of the apical foramen, or transportation etc. should be avoided. These are the four important mechanical objectives. So first is like it should have a beautiful taper or continuous taper, and the taper should eventually move to the apex. And next is like there should be a quality of flow once we do the obturation or the final part of root canal treatment. And next, the apical foramen should be as small as possible. The next is the objective biological objectives. So biological objectives include, first is like we need to remove all the debris and disinfect the root canal. That is one. Second is like the necrotic debris should not be forced periapically. Once we determine the working length properly, the necrotic debris won't get actually ejected out of the apical foramen too. Third is like we should produce sufficient space within the root canal so that we can actually apply intracanal medicaments, irrigants to the particular area, so that it will bring about the disinfection property. So these are the objectives that was given by Shielder while we do a cleaning and shaping. Next is serial shaping motion. We know that in our cleaning and shaping we use large amount of files or like reamers etc. So all these have certain motions through which it can enter into the root canal. The six distinct motion of files and reamers are follow, follow, withdraw, cart, car, smooth, and patency. So it is very important to know each term and what is the file or a reamer that is used in which motion. So you need to know all this in the serial shaping motions. First is follow. Follow is usually performed with the help of a file. You can see FF, you can memorize like that. Follow is usually performed by files. So what we do is like initially we will do a preparation during cleaning and shaping, right? And that motion is actually used, that is follow motion is used in the initial preparation or initial cleaning and shaping. Another time, sometimes when there is actually small blockage at the periapical area also, a follow mechanism is follow motion is actually done with the help of files. Next is follow withdraw. Follow withdraw is again we use a file is used. This motion is used when the foramen is reached. Once we already have reached the foramen, and the next step is to create a path from the access cavity to the foramen. we'll be doing a follow withdraw, follow then withdraw, follow then withdraw. So this motion is actually done once we have reached the apical foramen. Follow is actually done once we are in the initial stage of cleaning and shaping. Very important. Next is cart. Cart is actually a motion where we use the reamers. Very important. Cart is like the extension of reamers to the nearest radiographic terminus. So when we apply a reamer rather than the usage of file, it is called as carting. The precurved reamer should gently and randomly touch the dental walls and cart away the debris. So we will be actually precurving the reamer so that it will actually flow to the curvature, touch the dentinal wall and remove the debris. That is cart motion. Next is carve. Carve is again for, we know that carve is for the shaping of the canal. And here also we use actually reamers, which is used for carving as well as for shaping the canal. Next is the motion smooth. Smooth is accompanied by files. So in the past, most endodontic procedure were performed with smooth or circumferential motion. So smooth is actually done with the help of actually files. So circumferential filing motion means there are certain canals which is having actually oval shape. So when we do a cleaning and shaping in a round canal, what happens is like the cross section of the file is also round. So it will touch all the surfaces of a round canal. But in certain cases like premolars, which is having a oval canal, if we use a file with round cross section, it doesn't touch all the surfaces of a oval canal. So what we do is like we do a circumferential filing. Circumferential filing means we'll start from one end of the canal, we'll move in such a way that all the parts of the canal is actually touched. So that is called as a circumferential filing motion, which is mainly carried out in a oval canal. Okay. Next is patency or patent filing. Patent filing is actually mainly done using a file or a reamer. It simply means that we have already explained that cleaning and shaping is actually done 1 mm or 0.5 to 1 mm short of the radiographic apex. So what will happen to the debris or the pulpal remnants that is seen in this area? What will we do? So that is why we do a patent filing. Patent filing means very smaller files or reamers are actually used so that even though it come out of the canal, it is okay. That is because it is very smaller than the apical foramen. So it doesn't actually increase or decrease the size of apical foramen. So that motion often removes the debris that is actually present at the apical area. So that is called as patent filing, or it is actually creating a path in which the following files can actually enter. So that was actually the motions that is being carried out when we use a file and reamer. So very easy. Follow and follow withdraw, we use files. Cart and carve, we use the reamers. Smooth, again we use files. For patent filing, both reamers as well as files can be actually used. And in this, circumferential filing is like, it is a type of filing method where we use oval canal, where we'll be using in the oval canal. That is very important, oval canals. Next is the motions of instrument. So the motions of instrument can be of 4 types: filing, reaming, watch winding motion, and balanced force instrumentation. So what is filing? Filing simply means a push and pull action of the instrument is called as, like we'll be inserting into the canal, pulling it out. Push, pull. So that is called as filing. So filing is actually used to remove the debris from the root canal. Next is reaming. Reaming means there will be a clockwise direction or a right-handed rotation of the instrument. That is called as reaming. Reaming means rotation. Reaming means there will be rotation. Filing means just the up and down or pull or push motion. Reaming, there will be a rounding or rotation either in the clockwise direction or in the right hand rotation of the instrument. As you can see in this image, we will be inserting and we will be rotating. This is the motion, right? This is the motion of the instrument. Next is turn and pull. So turn and pull is actually a combination of the reaming and also filing. Filing means push and pull motion, right? We have already studied. So we will be actually inserting the instrument in a reaming motion, that is in a quarter turn clockwise rotation, then we'll be actually doing a filing action, appendant motion, then we'll be taking out. So the file is inserted in a 1 by 4 clockwise direction. You can see we'll be inserting in a 1 by 4 clockwise direction. So this is actually the filing. First we actually pull push motion, right? We have we have actually pushed it in the canal. Clockwise is actually reaming, and we have pulled out, that is again filing. So this is called as turn and pull. That is a combination of the first two, that is reaming and filing. Reaming means rotation is there. So we'll actually push, rotate, pull. So that is a combination of both reaming and filing motion. Now what is watch winding motion? Watch winding motion is a back and forth motion. Means back and forth is there. In the early case, we had only a right hand rotation, very important. Reaming, just a right handed rotation, not a back and forth rotation. But watch winding means watch moving back and can wind back. That is back and forth motion. A 30 to 60 degree in the right and a 30 to 60 degree in the left is actually used for pushing the instrument into the canal. So that was the various motions and the serial sequential preparations that you need to know, right? Next is the technique of pulp space preparation. So whenever we do a root canal space preparation, there are two important preparations seen. Either we can actually, this is actually the root canal. Either we can start from the apical area to the coronal area in this motion, or from the coronal aspect is actually prepared first, then to actually the apical area. So apico-coronal preparation, there are some examples that you need to study. Here you have a code, that is SAC again. First is a normal standardized preparation. A is actually anti-curvature filing. C is circumferential filing. S also consists of actually step back. Step back means we are stepping back, means from the apical portion to the coronal portion we are stepping back. So these are the examples of apico-coronal. The question is asked which is the apico-coronal preparation among the following. So you need to know the examples. S is like standardized preparation, along with that step back preparation. A for anti-curvature preparation, and C for circumferential filing. Very important. Next is corono-apical preparation. That means that we will be actually preparing the canal on the coronal aspect first, then we will be moving towards the apical aspect. That includes step down technique. The other was step back. This is step down. We are going down. So it is called as actually step down technique. Again, double flare technique is there. We will be flaring in the double flare technique is there. Pressureless technique. Ron's balanced force technique. Okay, this is very important. So how I used to memorize it is SAC. We will be desperate. So it contained the double flare technique D, and it contained step down technique. It contained the pressureless technique. It contained the R for the Ron's balanced force technique is there. You can actually, while we carry SAC, we'll be desperate. You can think like mnemonics or something like that to memorize the preparations that is seen in both these classification. So apico-coronal, it is SAC, standard preparation, the step back preparation, circumferential filing and anti-curvature filing. The other case, D4 is actually double flare is there, and E is not there. S is like step down technique is there, and P is like what pressureless technique is there, and R is Ron's balance force technique. When these two join together, it is called as a hybrid technique. So these two join together for actually the hybrid technique. So another important thing is like you need to know the authors who have given the techniques and the name of the techniques. That is very important. I've given some of the code in certain. See, Abu Ras have given an anti-curvature filing. That is A. So whenever you see who is the person who actually coined the technique, if anti-curvature filing, you can actually memorize it as it is an A. Next is Marshall and Papin have done pressureless technique. So it is both having P. Crown down technique, crown down, pressureless technique, we have already studied. Desperate, that P is there. So that is coronoapical preparation, and it is actually given by Papin. Right. Next is actually double flare technique. Again, double flare was actually seen in the coronoapical portion. Double flare is given by F, Fava. Balanced force, where we have studied in the second one. Ron's balanced force is there. So balanced force again, Ron, as the name suggests, it is actually Ron. And circumferential filing is actually C, it is almost like L. So limb and also stock is there. And what you need to memorize other is like Inkel was a person who actually given the standardized technique, and Jarin is actually the person who have given the step down technique. And the most recent passive step back was given by Torab Injant. So I hope like you can actually connect like this and study AA, Fava is flare, Ron is like balanced force technique, PP, pressureless like Papin, and just memorize the other three. So coming to the various preparation techniques. First is step back technique, second is step down, and third is hybrid method. So step back, you know that we will be preparing on the apical area, we will moving to the coronal area. So the apex will be prepared first, middle third will be prepared second, and third the coronal portion will be prepared. So what happens is like so they will have a proper taper, and the coronal instrumentation is done with a reaming motion and apical instrumentation with the circumferential filing. So the motion is like apical area we will be doing a circumferential filing, and the coronal instrumentation is done with actually the reaming motion. So that is the important thing you have to know. Step down technique means we will be moving from up to down. That is, the coronal portion will be prepared first, then the middle portion, then the apical portion. Right. In the step back technique, in most of the case, we just use the hand instruments only because we have to start from the lower area. So we'll be doing with the help of hand instruments. Step down technique is done with both hand instruments as well as the rotary instruments. In the first case, we used both reaming and circumferential motion. The second case, we will be using only the reaming motion. Now, there is something called as a hybrid technique. Hybrid technique, we use a combination of these both. So, we will be preparing coronal part, then the apical part, last the middle part. So, that is the hybrid technique. And here again, we will be using both the hand instruments and rotary instruments. Again, since it is a combination, they have both reaming as well as circumferential motion. So this is a very important slide that you need to keep in mind. So step back technique is like step down and hybrid. Step back means we'll be starting from the apical area, moving to the upper part. Step down means we'll be moving from the upper part to that of actually the lower part. Hybrid is like upper part, lower part, then the middle will be prepared. The step back is like, since we are starting from the constricted area, we can use only the hand instruments. Step down, since it is starting the coronal part, we can use both hand instruments as well as the rotary instruments. So this has two motions, circumferential motion and reaming motion, the other just the reaming motion. Now talking about actually step back, another important names of actually step back technique is flare technique or telescopic technique or serial root canal preparation. This is very important technique that you need to know. So what is the basics of step back is like, think that this is actually the root canal. So what we do is like, we'll be determining the working length first. Think that the working length is 20 mm. So we did the initial filing, we did a 10K filing, 15K filing, 20K filing, 25K filing, 30K filing, 50, 20, 25 till 20 mm working length. All the entire length was covered. So just think that when we put 30K, we had a tug back. Now the next larger file cannot reach the entire 20 length of working length. So what we do is like the next file, that is 35K file, we'll be actually reducing 1 mm. This is called a step back. Now we are reducing the working length from 20 to 19 mm. Right, understood, right? Now we have used till that the canal 30 file went all the way till the apex. Now the file is having a tuck back. The larger file cannot go through into it. So what we use is actually the larger file 1 mm short of the actual working length. This is called a step back. Next after that again this is called as the master file. Master file means the master who have went till the apical foramen for cleaning and shaping. Once we have done 1 mm short of the working length, the next cleaning, we have to use the master file in between. This is called as recapitulation. So each file we have to do master filing with 30K file for 20 mm. After that again we will be using the 40K file again short of 1 mm, that is 18 mm. Again master filing. So this is actually called as recapitulation. Why recapitulation is done? Since in step back we are actually reducing the length of the file, sometimes the debris get actually accumulated in the area where the file is not going. So in order to remove that, in order to make the patency, we will be actually using the master apical file. Hope you understood. Master apical file is a file that reaches till the apical foramen. Understood? Now, the general certain other preparations are step down preparation, crown down pressureless preparation, balance force and double flare preparation. So first is the step down preparation. Step down preparation, as I said earlier, we'll be preparing in the coronal part first. So what we do is like, first of all, 12 to 24 H files to the point of canal binding. Initially, we'll be actually doing the canal binding of the files. So like 15 file might have, like 20 file will have a binding. So first of all, we will do the crown preparation. For that, on the coronal part, there are GG drill instruments we'll be using to like increase the size of the coronal part with the help of GG drill. Then only we'll move to the lower part with the help of a K file. Understood? That is step down technique. Next is crown down pressureless technique. Is like this is similar to that of the actually is a step down technique, but much of a pressure is actually not given. 35 K file is actually initially here a H file was used, but here K file is used, and after that again the coronal preparation is done, and then coronal to apical preparation with the help of a K file. What is balance force technique? I've already added here. Balanced force technique is actually a mechanism which was introduced by Ron. It uses non-cutting files are actually used. Very important. Non-cutting files are used, and the file commonly used is actually flex R files. Flex R files, as the R suggests, Ron. So flexor files actually use the concept of balance force. Balance force include, first of all, we will be actually introducing the file you can see into the canal. After that, we will be rotating the file for 90 degree with a light apical pressure. It will be moving down with a light apical pressure. 90 degree we will turn. Once it is right hand turned, then it will be actually turned in an opposite direction of 180 to 270. Right, in the same position. Then again, once we have reached the 270, we will actually go back towards 90. So 90, 180, 90, then a complete 360 will pull it out. That is the way how we actually do a balance force technique. So first of all, 90 degree to the right, 180 or 270 to the back, again 90 to the right, then complete 360 and pull it out. That is balance force technique, which was given by Ron. It is used for non-cutting instrument and also for flexor files. That is about balance force. So double flare is like we'll be preparing from the coronal to apical portion with the help of K files, and again we'll be doing the step back. So in both the area there will be a flare, which was found by Fava. So, which is one of the better technique suited for preparing a fine and curved canal. This was asked for actually NEET MDS question paper, which is the filing that is actually used for a very fine and curved canals. That is modified double flare technique, because since it is very narrow, if we modify and flare on the both side, it will have a proper cleaning and shaping without actually fracture of the instruments or any other biomechanical SLs. So next is actually the anti-curvature filing. So when we consider tooth like lower molars, what happens is like you can see in this image there is curvature of the root. A tooth is never straight; it have curvature. There are two important zones called danger zone and safety zone in a root of a molar. You can see this dentine is very thin, but here the dentine is more. As you can see the dentine is more, here the dentine is very less. So what happens when we file here, there is a chance of perforation or a communication towards a periodontium. So this is called as the danger zone. That is the area which is near to the furcushion. And the area that is away from this furcushion is called as the safety zone. This is called as the safety zone where the dentine is of thick. So in anti-curvature filing, it suggests that whenever we file a canal, the canal filing should be in the safety zone rather than this danger zone. So whenever we file a canal, we have to file like it is towards this, that is towards a safety zone we have to file, not towards the danger zone. So that is the difference between anti-curvature filing. In anti-curvature filing, filing is actually done towards the safety zone, that is away from the furcushion area, to prevent the problem of perforations. See, this is actually the furcushion area, near to the furcushion area where the dentine is very thin. This is the area that is away from the furcushion area towards the safety zone where we'll be doing the cleaning and shaping. Next is the technique. Next question asked was like based on this. As I said earlier, the technique which is used for preparing narrow and curved canal is like balance force technique is like one, modified double fair technique, that is the most accepted one, and step down technique. Since it is very narrow, we can have to control the force, etc. So one of the question is like, what is a step down technique? What does it? You need to answer. Step down technique, step back is there. Step back means we'll be actually preparing the lower part, then the upper part. So what is step down technique? We'll be preparation from the coronal part to that of the apical part. So the answer is like D. So thank you. That was a very important topic, and you need not actually study everything. You need to know the different names of step back, the various people who introduced each, the various motions, and in each motions, whether it is like a file, what is it used in balance force, you need to know about flex R files, what is circumferential filing, and what is anti-curvature filing. So these are the important portions that you need to cover in a cleaning and shaping of root canal. And thank you. Hope you understand. See you in the next class.